back in the swing.
Into the northeast neighborhood. This was the old Italian, Columbus Park is what it was called, old Italian part of town. Now a lot of Vietnamese live here. Thought I was going to have to go to a building fire up north. Casey's that they were talking about is a brand new store, but turned out it was donuts burning on the stove. Donuts go in the stove. Anyway, I'm up here to try to go to this coffee house. I've been trying to go to this one for a while. They were located in the West Bottoms, but they shut down at that location. And then I saw they were fixing up the store here. So let's see if they're open. It says they are on the Googles. I don't know, I'm beginning to maybe have my doubts. There it is. And it's looking open. Cafe. Open pretty much every day, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Closed Tuesday. Those are good hours for Kansas City. Alright, let's see what this place is about. Very nice. They got good hours too. This used to be La Sala's. I think it's still the same owners. They just changed their. And we're right around the corner from Vietnam Cafe here. Uh-oh. Roadblock. So yeah, I think this will be a nice addition here. This is Vietnam Cafe right here. Guardian Angels Church, which is the heart of this neighborhood. Kind of doing a little impromptu tour. interesting, the way the person is riding the garbage truck. And of course, this software makes my camera overheat, or my phone overheat. So let me put it on front deflector, temperature down, turn the jet plane noise up so I can cool off my device. And I'm just sort of zigzagging around. It was loose. Fine. Haven't tried this place here. Bumpy road. Oops, excuse me. Good Vietnamese coffee. Here's I call it the Jefferson Highway Dog Park. People are always coming over from the loft over here. They're dogs. This is farmers market of Kansas City. Matter of fact, it used to be that the Italians from Columbus Park were pretty heavy into the farmers market here. My dad says back when it was affordable, you can get bargains. I don't know, I think it's still good. Where my wife likes to shop, the Chinatown market, Asian market. And it's supposed to be warm today, and then it's going to rain this afternoon, and then it'll be nicer tomorrow. The last days of summer. I come up here in the River Key, go up Delaware, and then end my little tour here. Pacific House here is really old. I realize that when I'm pointing, oh no, it points the right way. Maybe it just got me backwards. I don't know. I hate that. I hate it when they flip the camera around, then all the words are like backwards. That's how you know it's backwards. But you can't really tell that well unless you look. But I don't like it. Alright, coming into downtown, and I gotta take my TVU back and go home. So thus begins my regular work week after vacation. I'm still suffering from jet lag. My ear is still clogged and everything. Yuck. Anyway, time to get on with it. So, this is really different. I'm in a live van, and the reason is because my car ran fine when I started it, but as soon as I got to Quick Trip, turned it off, went to the bathroom, came out, everything was malfunctioning. All my, it seems like it's a computer control module problem. But, you know, There's no all-wheel drive. There's no radar assist, no cruise control. The parking brake was malfunctioning. Everything that's controlled by a central computer. And I was like, okay, I'll deal with it. It's driving. I got it to drive, so. But when I started driving it, it started acting like it wasn't wanting to drive very well either. So I'm like, before I take this out into some bad neighborhoods, I better figure something else out. And then I got to the station. I was like, why don't I use a live van? It's easy. So I'm in a live van. Woohoo! Bad audio and everything. Show the unique live shot we're doing. Out here with the sunflowers. Oh, we have the lights on. You see all the sunflowers in the back even. Pretty cool. Trying to get some yellow light on the action here too. Another sweep, the sunflowers. Yep, that's what we're doing live this morning. As the sun comes up, this is just awesome. We're doing a star lapse and everything. There's sort of a children of the corn aspect of this. The fog and the mist in the headlights is pretty awesome looking. Hey, how you doing? I'm out of the truck and I'm in live unit 9. It's my loaner car until we get my car figured out. And this one is very interesting because it's a Ford Transit, the old style Transit. And it's probably the world's smallest live van. It's a very interesting concept in a car. They used a lot of these for delivery cars, and I think Google used them. So yeah, this is what I'm driving for the time being until my car gets out of the shop. So interesting, huh? Hey, how you doing? The update is it didn't take long. It turned out that I'm back in my regular car, and it turned out that it was a sensor issue. I don't know if the sensors needed to be cleaned or reset or whatever, but it sure messed everything up when they don't work right. So anyway, back to normal, I hope. Interesting night. Got kind of busy after the witching hour. I saw in Citizen there was a shooting, so I went to go check it out, and yet again, at first I didn't see it, but then I found it in the Parker Square Apartments, and it's kind of a gated apartment, private property, I guess. I don't know. and I went and I shot video really quickly. And meanwhile, as I was doing that, there was a police chase involving a U-Haul, and it was coming down 24 Highway. It originated in Independence, and so I got that as well. And then I went and did our live shots over in Independence. And coming home late again. So, woohoo! Tonight turned out to be kind of a slow night. Had one car chase that ended up with a crash. I checked on that, got some video, but I don't think they used it. And we had live shots at the stadium because Len Dawson passed away. He was a Chiefs football hero and longtime local sports anchor and living legend, and now he's passed into memory. And I thought I would stop and get some well, you know, what am I always stopping for? Walk on in here. Look at that. Coffee. Hey, how you doing? If it's windy in the mic, I apologize. The weather is so nice right now that I'm driving with the windows open. The only reason the air is blowing is because this app that I use overheats my phone. So if I quit mid-sentence, it's because of that. Because my phone is overheated and it says, I quit. Fine. And it is the first day of September. The beautiful first day of September. Although I can't shake this feeling that I have. September is a memorable month in American history, and every year September 11th we commemorate what happened. It's now going on 21 years. And so when the weather is nice like this in the beginning of September, it brings back some feelings to all of us that were alive at the time and still vividly remember. And so I have this kind of like feeling of dread. You're going down the wrong lane because it's so poorly marked. I've done that too. It's ridiculous of this construction. They need to be able to mark this better, and they're not. And sometimes it changes overnight. Oh, and look, they've gutted this. They're going to keep the facade, I guess, but they're not keeping much of it. And of course, if you know anything about historic designations, as soon as you alter a historic property, it ceases to be historic, and thus can be demolished without any notice in the future. That's not a nice thing. I'm into preservation, and that's a big Kansas City landmark. Anyway, this is also the beginning of all the birthday months in our family, and somebody's birthday is coming up, so sorry about all the noise. I mean, I bitch about the cones and everything, but what they're doing, I'm all in favor of. They're adding to the streetcar line. But anyway, so that's what this errand is about, that I'm about to do, is somebody's birthday, which is happening tomorrow. So I'm going to take care of a few things for that. And then the missus has tomorrow off, so hopefully she can take care of the rest. It's sort of like working as a team here, doing a little bit each so that one of us doesn't have to do it all. But, you know, there are times when one of us has to do it all because the other one is up to here with our work or something else going on in our crazy lives, which is fine. But anyway, kind of doing a little impromptu tour of Main Street in Kansas City, what's going on around here with all the road destruction. You know, they're taking advantage and doing all the infrastructure while they lay streetcar tracks. And I noticed yesterday that they're adding more line coming up this way. Oops, red light. Speaking of historic preservation, there is a developer who's trying to tear down this whole block right here and trying to fly under the radar and get it done quickly. And from what I understand, he's not developing anything, just tearing it down for future development. And of course, they will probably try and use that historic designation rule. You know, if one brick has been taken out of place or somebody moved a wall or something, oh, it's no longer historic, let's tear it all down. And that's not the point. That building on the corner is one of the last of its type in this city that, you know, has been fairly well preserved. With that turret and everything, you know, Victorian functional building. And we can't afford to lose it. So I hope we win this fight. You know, at the very least, if you're going to build on that corner, build into what's already there. But the problem is that I think developers like to have a free hand, and so they want to tear everything down so that they can build whatever they want and not have to account to anybody for anything. This is beginning to be a rant. As long as my app and camera hold out. But, let me just keep doing this impromptu Main Street tour. I mean, Main Street is a very broad street. Yeah, you can see the tracks are going in right there. This is a very broad street, and thus, you know, they're having a streetcar come up straight up Main. I wonder, that grade is pretty steep for a rail-based vehicle. So, you know, I'm guessing that the engineering is much smarter than me. But that's a question I have about this project, is how well they'll be able to tackle the grade. Believe it or not, even in wintertime, because, you know, that grade could be a problem if you start losing traction. You know, steel wheels on a steel rail. But I don't know how they've accounted for it. Hope we don't find out it becomes a problem. But it's good to see. So now we have tracks on both sides, on that side and on this side over here, on the left and the right. And, you know, of course, when the streetcar is not running, you can drive on the tracks, so it's not like you're really losing a lane. You just have to make way for the streetcar. And of course, it's extending. I can see a streetcar up here. It's extending from up here. a lot of businesses are suffering right now because of all the construction, but as soon as it's done, they'll definitely benefit from the traffic, especially what they're building now. This segment to the south is going to actually link the university with downtown, so a lot of college students will be able to benefit from it. And I think it'll benefit the city as a whole in a really big way. Of course, I am a big advocate of anything rail-based. Being a foamer, if you don't know what that is, I think I probably explained it in a million blogs. But also is probably one of the most efficient, best ways of getting people around, and it's a good investment. And the thing is, we just traveled to a country that has none of that. The only thing that it has is rubber-based transportation. It doesn't even have good allowances for pedestrians, and doesn't even really have good allowances in most places for bicycles. And the traffic was just horrendous. We are so lucky in this country to not have to put up with that. I mean, there are parts of this country that have horrendous traffic as well, but we're in a part of the country where we don't have that. And it's very far-sighted and a good investment to build this kind of infrastructure now before it becomes a problem. Because once it becomes a problem, it becomes impossible and very expensive to try to fix it. And we saw the results of that. I mean, literally, to get out of my brother-in-law's neighborhood, he lives in a gated community with a security guard that they pay with their dues, neighborhood dues. And the security guard has to actually physically walk out on the street most times of the day and stop traffic so they can actually get out of their neighborhood. And I mean, there's truck traffic and car traffic and everything, and it's just an all-around general hazard. And once you get into traffic, it can be upwards to an hour just to get through the little municipality that they're in, which is Tayud, which is a part of the town of Constellation. And there's two highways that run through Constellation, and both of them are equally as bad. Constellation is just impossible to get through. It's one of the worst parts of the city of Cebu, I think. And it's just a matter of deciding to build infrastructure like this. But I mean, it's not just this. I mentioned, me liking trains. They need trains all over the country, not only for transporting people, but for transporting goods, because a lot of the traffic tie-ups are being caused by a lot of freight that's being hauled little bits at a time by trucks. And there isn't much rail infrastructure in the Philippines that I could see. And I think it's one of the only Asian countries and one of the few countries in the world that has that issue, that problem. So, I don't know. Anyway, rambled on. I'm basically following the streetcar tracks all the way. This is like the middle of the day on a Thursday. Coming in the middle of the day, still morning, mid-morning. And you can see how easy it is for me to get around. And they've added other things in town. You can rent scooters, you can rent electric bikes. They've got bike lanes everywhere. The streetcars, there's buses, there's Uber, a lot of pedestrian access. Everything to just give people as many different modes of moving themselves around the city as possible. But Kansas City is probably what you would consider a low density city. Kansas City's problem is, and always has been, that it's so spread out. A lot of people live way out in the suburbs, and so a lot of our traffic congestion happens during rush hour on the interstates, when everybody gets on the highways and clogs them up. But if you know all the back roads and side streets and everything, you can easily avoid that. And if a major highway is clogged, then you might as well just keep moving on city streets. And I've rarely had problems with it. Right now the streetcars are being used mostly to shuttle tourists around the city. I mean, there are a lot of people who live down here who take advantage of it, get to go different places with it. But as they build it out, I will see it being one of the major vital arteries that people will use to get around. And I hope that they can do that and support it without, making it expensive to ride. And everywhere I've been, they use the streetcars, and I believe this model of streetcars is actually kind of universal, being used all over the world. I think I saw these types or something similar being used in Germany. But everywhere we've been in Europe that heavily uses this system is just beautiful. It's so easy to get around, and even if you have to pay, I mentioned I hope they keep it free here, but even in Berlin when we used it, it was cheap, much cheaper than keeping a car. And it's a great thing if you live in the city. You don't have to use your car at all, and hopefully Kansas City someday will fulfill that dream, where you can live in the city and never have to touch your car and add to the carbon footprint and everything else like that. But such a beautiful morning. I have a gripe about some of these traffic lights being too long and stopping everybody and not really, but I don't know. That gripe has been tempered by having been to a place where they deal with real congestion issues. And I don't think it's like that all over the Philippines. I think it's just like that in the cities. I think once you get out in a lot of outlying areas, it's actually very pretty, very peaceful, and paradise. A hot paradise, but a paradise. Yeah, I'm about to cross into North Kansas City now, which is a separate city. And I'll just end it here because I've ranted too long, and it's probably my namesake, very boorish and boring. So, woo-hoo! I'm at the end of my shift. Actually, I'm at 30 minutes after the end of my shift. And it would have been slow, except that something interesting happened. I was in Westport this morning and saw a fight, and then one of the parties involved in the fight decided to come back. He was in a car and he came back, and there was 2 shots fired. I don't think anybody was hit, but I got to witness it all. So fun. And then live at Santa Caligon, and I'm on my way home. I'm actually on the way to the station to drop off my TVU and drop off my footage of a fire that I just had to go get. That's why I'm here in the south part of Kansas City. And I'm getting some coffee because I'm tired. And then the weekend begins. Woohoo! It's Zach's birthday today. He's having a little tiny pool party. Too much energy.
Oh, some got in my nose. Don't jump where I jump. Careful, here comes the big guy.
Inside preparations. I don't know where Sai is.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zachy. Happy birthday to you.
All right, now let's sing what we really want to sing. Happy birthday to you. You live in a zoo. You look like a monkey, and you smell like one too.
Alright, hold on, Zach.
Jane, why did you have to participate in this?
Alright. Zach, are you gonna make a wish? Can you swallow what you're eating first before you blow? Hold on, Zach. Take your time. You need to go.
Remember, you gotta tell everyone your wish.
No, I don't.
Alright,
I'm
Zach.
never gonna do that. I have a different thought about that than you do.
Yeah.
What's for his box?
World peace?
Alright.
Just be careful.
He's concentrating.
Look at this. When do you... You have to have the beginning of birthday.
Okay, got it.
I'm not a chocolate cake fan.
Well, I'm glad I didn't get you chocolate cake then.
We just got back from eating.
Going to get some coffee.
Maybe.
It's the doggies' turn in the pool. They're not sure. Go on, Stell. Jimmy, come on. Jimmy.
I can't pick you up, Jimmy, so you're lucky.
Jimmy, come on.
She's mostly afraid of the sprinkler. Come on in.
Come on. Come on, Jim.
Come on in. No.
Jimmy, go on. All right, here we go.
Come on, go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Good boy. Good boy, Jim. Outside and drop it. It's the ball.
There he goes.
Luke, stop. Get the ball. Go. Get the ball, Jim. Go get it. Go in. Luke.
Oh, sorry.
Don't play with that. Go get it. Get the ball.
Get the
ball,
ball,
you can get it.
dog.
You can get the ball. No, now you stand. Now you stand.
He's wet. He's wet.
Messiah, stop.
Put it down.
Just let it go. Come on, come on, come on. Go get it.
It's a game.
It's a
game.
it's a book.
No, it's
I'm
not
kidding.
A book.
It's a game.
It's a game that goes nicely away on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks so much like a book.
Oh yeah, it can be put away nicely on the
On the
bookshelf.
shelf.
Looks so
Nobody
much.
will know.
It's cool.
It's even got a gun in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's cool.
Have you ever played Clue?
Yes. Different versions of it. but
Have
yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Next present.
All right, next present.
Hold on, I gotta get.
I'm gonna say thank you.
Hey,
What
is that?
a
What is
mini
this?
game.
Those are the cards.
Oh.
Like Professor Plum and...
What is that?
Well, you need more
Seed
than one
packet or
player.
something?
Well, we can play Clue. It's fun.
Okay, you can play it.
Let's play it right now.
Not right now.
Wait, later today?
Yes.
With you?
Yes.
Right now. Later today.
I thought that was cool, the way it just like
Mhm.
folds away in those little...
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Now you can put it on a shelf, and when you need it,
Look.
Well, I can't get it to like, it just look, you can tell it's a secret book.
All right,
Mhm.
put it on the sleeve now.
Close!
It will.
How did it, what?
You're making great TV here, Zach.
Yeah.
Zach, just making it a mess. Here,
Wow.
here, give it to me.
Oh,
It's a hoodie.
So hoodie.
Jack.
it's for the fall.
So don't lose it, Zach.
Don't lose it.
You gotta put your name in it.
Smack it.
Okay.
Sunday fun day.
Smack it. Because Sunday is the fun
No, it
day.
Is
isn't.
that long sleeve, Zach? Can I see it, Zach?
No, it's short sleeve.
No.
It's
Oh,
long
it's
sleeves.
oh okay. I thought it was
They're
like
all
a
long sleeves.
thought it was like a jersey.
Nice. Oh wow. You got really
Oops,
lots of
excuse
fall
me.
clothes.
That's a short sleeve.
Ralph.
Purple.
Saya.
You haven't got any purple color.
Oh, I'm kidding.
What?
What?
Nice.
Hot face.
We need to shop.
Yes, it's blue.
I've been shopping
it's short
for
sleeve.
2 months now.
So many clothes.
All right.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
2
it's,
months?
yeah. When Oliver's birthday was hit me in June, I was like, uh-oh, it's that time of year again. I need to go shopping.
I know, and it's so funny.
And guess.
Go to the secret package. Oh,
Passage.
How do I
It's a
go
lounge.
to the lounge?
Because it's a secret
This right
passage.
here is the secret passage, and you would just go there.
who do you think? The one that has no X marks. Who do you use?
Because you're mustardy, Zach.
Hey, what weapon? Look at your list.
Look at
Look
your
at your
list.
list. The one that you didn't mark.